Hi, this is Asiamet with a weekend edition of the Bulletin Board Heroes here at Zach's Traders Cafe for Sunday, the 23rd of March. Starting off with the FTSE 100, which is bounced off the floor of the range we were looking for, around 8600, 8610, and the 50-day line, which is just above that 8610 level. Well, at least while we're within that, the floor of that range, which is between 8610 and the record highs at the beginning of the month towards 8900. We're looking for a top of channel move towards 9,000 perhaps as soon as the end of next month. On the downside, not expecting anything worse than recent lows towards 84.80. RSI's pushed back below neutral 50, which is not helpful and gives us the fear that below that 50-day line we will go to 84.80 or so. Moving on to the DAX, and here the picture, one of remaining within that rising trend channel from back in November. The floor of the channel there, 22,600. And we're looking at the top of that channel, currently pointing to up to 24,300 by the end of next month. Worst case at the moment is we're going to test that 50-day line and recent support or post-February support towards 22,000. RSI still above the neutral 50 level, so there's a chance early in the week for a rebound off the floor of that channel. Moving along to the Dow, and here still struggling, but struggling near the 200-day moving average at 42,000. We've allowed down to 41,000, and that support line projection from November. RSI remains stubbornly below the neutral 50 level, which isn't helpful. So really we want to see days above, or end of day closes above 42,000 to give us a move back towards recent resistance on the way down at 43,000. By the end of next month, but still looks like something of a struggle, especially with the tariffs in the way. Moving on to Bitcoin, where we remain mesmerized by the person who's gone short of $332 million worth of Bitcoin at the current price. They must have had a sleepless night when it went up to 87,000 during the week, but it's back down again. Maybe they added to their position. Rising trend channel here from March, floor of the channel there at 81,000 now. So that needs to be broken to get our bear trader to their first target at 69,000 and their second one at 58,000. As far as we're concerned, the technicals point to a move down to 73 to 74,000 pre-November breakout resistance while we're below 87,000. But that's the worst case at the moment, and we could still see this market bounce above or at 81,000 on the floor of that channel. On the upside, it's the 50-day line there near 90,000, which is the initial target. RSI remains below neutral 50, and therefore the bias is just about sell into strength rather than buy on dips. Moving along to gold, where everyone and their mother has been so excited about this being above the 3,000 level. Still got this rising trend channel from November. Top of the channel heading with 3,200 is a best case scenario target by the end of next month. Recent resistance back in February was at 29.80. That's also the floor of the rising trend channel, and so we would like to see the market stay above that in order to get to 3,200. The other negative at the moment is the way that we had higher highs. We've had higher highs for March, but a lower RSI trace, so that does suggest that we'll at least have to head down to 29.80. Worst case would be a test of the 50-day line towards 28.80. Moving along to the stocks and starting off with Asiamet, which looks well poised at the moment, just below the 1 penny level. We're still looking for 1.1 pence perhaps as soon as the end of this month. The situation in terms of the recent price action is that we really had one negative day, which was on Friday, coming off the 1 pence area, but we have had a cross between the 50 and 200-day lines. So still looking for 1.1 pence near term. As a minimum, that's the top of the rising trend channel base that we've had since August. Ideally, we stay on the right side of 0.95 on a mid-price basis ahead of a move through a penny. One of the more difficult situations around has been Berkeley Energia, but it looks like after nearly a year of trying, we've had a breakout through the 23 pence area. Given what a dog this stock has been, it's interesting that we've had this breakthrough. The only, one of the implications is that there may be some movement in terms of the project that the company has in Spain, and therefore that's what this market's looking for. Top of the channel there at 30 pence. Best case would be filling the gap up to 34 pence by the end of next month, while we're above the recent resistance at 23 pence. Moving along to Clontarf, which has traditionally been a nightmare in terms of charting and everything else. We've got this potential broadening triangle here. Top of the triangle, I would say, actually downgrading it down towards the 0.06 level. That's the best case scenario by the end of next month, if we can stay above that 50-day line there at 0.03 pence, which is what we closed above on Friday. But as I said, historically, that stock has tended to kick people in the teeth. Moving on to Capital Metals, which has produced some decent price action over the course of the week. We've got a broadening triangle base there, looking for at least a retest of October resistance at 2.6 pence, while we remain above the 200-day moving average, 1.8 pence. On to GCM, which has been a winner here for the Bulletin Board Heroes. We managed to hit all three targets. Actually, the first target was 2.4, second one about 3 pence, and the third one just flicked on Friday at 4.1 pence. So even though we don't like boasting about these things, that is quite a good look, and leaves us looking for the next level up, which could be as high as 7 pence by the end of next month. We'll make that a different colour so that we can keep an eye on that one as well. But above 4, looking for 7 pence on GCM, which would take the shares back to where they were last summer. On to Jersey Oil and Gas, which is actually in the model portfolio. I can't actually remember exactly where the entry point is. I think it was around 67 pence, but we'll have to look that up. We've only got 2 stocks in the model portfolio. One is Jersey, and the other one is Tungsten West. Here we're toying with our first target there, around 83 pence, above 83 pence, looking for up to 102 pence by the end of next month. I'm quite confident about that, given this little U-shaped hook that we've had over the course of recent days. On to Kodal, where I interviewed the great and very nice sounding Bernard Aylward a couple of weeks ago. Here you can see that it looks as though we're bouncing off the floor of that rising trend channel from back in October. Top of the channel there, 0.52, and we're looking for that second time lucky on the break of this 50-day moving average. It was a strong close to the week on both Thursday and Friday. So looking for 0.52 by the end of next month, or even sooner on Kodal, while we're above the floor of the channel there at 0.36. Next up on the list is Mkango, which seems to be just a one-way ticket at the moment. Rising trend channel there from August, and top of the channel there heading for 15 pence basically by the end of next month, or even sooner, while we're above the 50-day line at 10 pence. Petro is next, and here couldn't resist this one. Upgraded the target there to 2.6 pence by the end of next month, while we're above recent resistance at 1.8 pence. That would also break the falling 200-day moving average. RSI 50 rebound as well, so feeling quite chipper about that. And hopefully we could hit the target sooner than the end of next month. Priority 1, the stock of the week by a country mile, and here you can see the excitement that we've had here on the daily chart. We had bullish divergence going into the turnaround. We also had strong candles there, especially that one on the 16th, or the 18th rather, of March, and then the breakout day on the 19th through 4 and 4.2 pence. Current situation is above the 50-day moving average at 5 3/4. We're looking for the top of that falling trend channel and the 200-day moving average at 10.6 pence. I'm going to say previously by the end of next month, but now it looks as though we could get there by the end of this month, given that we have a few days to go. So great turnaround there, and nice bear trap rebound to catch people off guard. Moving on to Plexus, which is probably in the same boat as the situation as Clontarf, in the sense that we haven't had many good experiences on the charting front here, but maybe it'll be 100th time lucky. We've had a push up through the recent resistance at 7 pence above that, looking at the top of the channel there at 9.5 pence by the end of next month. But you can see that normally any rallies here are quickly sold into. On to Predator, which has had a £1.48 price target from Oak Securities, which we're about £1.45 away from at the moment, but got a broadening triangle there. the initial technical target here at 5.25 pence. Looking for that by the end of next month or even sooner. And that is after a bullish divergence and a bounce off a support line projection there from November at 2.6 pence. But the key here is getting back above the initial March support here at 3.8 pence. Moving along to Totally, which is a stock which has obviously had rather a slap in the face over the last couple of months. Interesting here, though, that we've had a wall of support, or the floor of support, rather, at 3.1 pence and bounced off that at the end of the week. That gives the hint that we might have not only bullish divergence, but a return to the gap floor there, 5.2 pence, by the end of next month. But as you can see, the shares fell out of their rising trend channel rather unceremoniously at the end of January, beginning of February, and it may take a while for a proper regrouping there. Finishing on with Tungsten West, and here, even though we still have our bedwetters selling at 7 pence, selling to strength, the shares are fighting back against that. And also what's interesting, we've still got the RSI above neutral 50. So on that basis alone, the RSI looking for the shares to stay above 4.25 pence and head up to the top of that rising trend channel at 8 pence by the end of next month. And actually, given the strength of the fight back here, probably even sooner than that, and actually a higher target. That's it for me today. More updates tomorrow.